It's the Bob and Mo Show.
Hooray!
With John and Adam.
Hooray!
We've lost the host. We've lost the sponsor.
It's lost the guest.
Sailly are having a break. Still use Sailly, it's boss, and they're not even paying us to say it anymore, so you know this is legit. If you're going on holiday, Sailly eSIM cards, they are really good. Loads of use them. TAW still probably, I assume, to get 15% off. Not official partners, so it's an even more authentic endorsement. But I am joined by my authentic real friend, Adam Meila. How are you?
I'm fine. Yeah, I was just telling Meila behind the camera about how we met and became authentic real friends through the world of internet forums.
Yeah,
which he doesn't know what they are, I don't think.
Yeah, way before it was cool. In fact, I think they're probably not cool again.
Oh yeah.
But for a while they were cool, and we met before that.
They'll be back.
So we are traditional internet friends. When football forums were like Tinder for lads who win the match.
Yeah. You had to see each other in a pub and say hello and say your username.
I remember you actually telling me you were John Armani.
Yeah.
It was in the Excelsior.
I think it was the Shipper Mitre.
It was one of them.
Yeah.
Top of you're probably right. I knew I was at the top of Dale Street.
Before Real Madrid at home in 2009, I think.
Yeah. It's a really good username, John Armani. You should go back on forums just for that.
Your usernames are always just your name.
Yeah. I'm just a really authentic guy. Do you know what I mean? I just like wear my heart on my sleeve. I use my real pictures on X.
Do you know what the biggest, strongest username in my mind is out of everyone we know? It's definitely Hightown Phil.
Yeah.
Hightown Phil is just Hightown Phil.
Yeah. Yeah.
The king of Hightown.
He is, yeah. There's a place near Hightown called Blundell, isn't there? Which I always like. Yeah. He says it's nothing to do with him, but I don't believe him. Imagine if we found out that Phil was like, I don't know, from not quite royalty.
The aristocracy.
A landowning family, and they had all of Blundell, and he like still just knocked around with us and went to the match.
All of Hightown, all of Blundell, all of Phil.
He owns the lot, right up to Formby, that's all it is. I think it's past Formby in it, but yeah. We're giddy because we're together and we're still unbeaten. They keep winning. There's 7 wins from, is it 7? Yeah, 7. 5 in the league, 1 in the European Cup and 1 in the Carabao Cup. So 7 games, 7 wins. It's going to take a lot to stop us, and Southampton are not a lot.
No, I think it was mainly fun. I didn't actually go. So I had the safety of my couch to watch it from, which meant I could watch a little bit of Everton getting beat at half time as well. Switched over and watched a bit of that. So yeah, it was a fun evening, and like you say, it was going to take more than that to beat us. I didn't really see Southampton scoring, to be honest. I think if we hadn't have really given them the ball with 1 yard out, they probably wouldn't have managed it. But yeah. It was an exciting prospect anyway. I was looking forward to watching a lot of those new players, watch the new goalie, watch the new defender, and obviously Isak. So there was various things about it that made it kind of more exciting than your kind of standard third round of the League Cup. But yeah, I mean, I shouldn't criticise it. I love the League Cup anyway. It's a great competition. I always, every year, I love it more and more. Even though we keep trying to get knocked out more and more.
To quote the Kaiser Chiefs.
Yes.
There we are. I love it as well. I love the fact that you could just sort of like mess around with it and then suddenly you're in a semi-final. I'm like, oh shit, how's this happened? You know, you just play a few games and it's fun. I like the fact that we played at home. I hope we play at home again because it's a chance for people to maybe go who wouldn't. I like that you didn't go because I think unless you really want to go, just let someone else go.
Yeah.
Is my attitude to everything, to be honest with you. I was like that with Oasis this year. I was like, I could just go for Instagram. But I've seen there's other people who really, really want to go, so I've just sort of bowed out of it.
I completely agree. There's a younger generation who are really excited about it.
Like Jordan, who works here.
Yeah. That isn't me. I've seen them.
Yeah. I would have a nice time, I'm sure, because I'm quite good at having a nice time, so I'd back myself to enjoy going to see Oasis. I just like, I'm sure you'd have had a nice time last night, but...
My Oasis policy, actually, I decided that I would go if it was free and somebody just took me there. If it was free and somebody drives me there and back, I'll pay for beer.
That's good, yeah. It doesn't have to be hospitality. If you're out there,
I'll
and you
queue.
want,
I'll queue and
tell you
I'll
what,
pay.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm not going to buy a ticket or drive.
I said to our friend Ben last night, I just want them to play Bestival.
Yeah.
There's problems with that. Problem one, Bestival doesn't exist anymore. And secondly, even if they did, they probably wouldn't get Oasis.
Yeah.
But that's how I'd like to watch. And with all the people we used to go to Bestival with.
Yeah, in the big top after the main headliner.
Imagine. Yeah. Can you please play a smaller stage?
Yeah.
So that's how I'd like to see Oasis. So whoever's, I feel like your scenario is slightly more likely than mine. But anyway, I'm pleased that the people who don't want to go, who aren't that bothered, who see the Reds all the time, rather than just go and just sort of sit there and leave on 70 or whatever, because they're a bit bored, then let other people go. It's great. So hopefully we get another home draw.
When is it? When is the draw?
It'll be after the game tonight.
All right.
It'll be after the game. I'm hoping. I've spoken to Humphrey Kerr a couple of times from Wrexham because he's a big Liverpool fan and he's big on. And he's just, ever since Wrexham have been all right, he's been absolutely desperate to get Liverpool. They won last night. So I'm hoping for Humphrey, because he's a nice man, that the Wrexham circus comes to town.
We'll almost certainly get Brighton.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Do you see that fella blam that goal in?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
That was good, wasn't it?
I mean, it was his hat trick. I always have a theory with those goals that people only score them when they've already got one or two.
Yeah.
If he hadn't have scored, he probably wouldn't have took it on. But he's just feeling great. He's like, I'm scoring today.
It was insane. It was like the replay was like that Roberto Carlos free kick.
Yeah.
In the Tournois de Paris.
I like it when a player scores as well and they're just laughing. Even though they're all brilliant, he still can't believe how brilliant he was. He's like, fucking hell, get on me. That was his celebration. He always surprised himself how Boss's own goal was.
He's that far out that he doesn't really know where to run either. He can't run to the
it's too far. Yeah. It's like when you go to the beach and you got to run to the sea and then, it's like 10 o'clock at night, let's go to the sea, and you're pissed. And then you get there and you're like, fucking hell, that's far. We've committed now. It felt a little bit like that.
Yeah. That was it. So we just, just stopped and waited for everybody to run towards him.
Yeah.
But yeah, liked it. So yeah, we'll almost certainly get them. I think just generally you kind of get the same teams a lot in competitions. It's the same in the Champions League. We sort of for years we would get the same.
PSV.
Yeah, Porto. We used to get Marseille every year for a bit. Got them again.
Back.
Metro. Yeah. So I suspect we'll get them, but I'd like to get Wrexham. I'm Wrexham curious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see who we get tonight, and we are. I mean, I tell you who we won't get. Everton.
That's true. Yeah. As I sort of trailed before, I watched a little bit of them, and what you were just saying before, John, is that it's a fun competition because before you know it, you can find yourself in a semi. That does really not seem to be the case for Everton. I'm not saying that because they're not as good as us, but they never seem to try. And
it's pissing off the fans.
It really boggles my mind.
I had a lot of Everton. I think because a lot of Evertonians messaged me at the weekend. The algorithm of X has thrown me a lot of Everton Twitter now, and they weren't happy last night because they're like, fucking hell, can we just at least have a go at winning something?
Yeah, and there's a few different elements, I think, isn't there? I think there's definitely a bit of Moyes feeling, and so they've been happy to have Moyes back. But I think probably there's things lingering in the background of their minds that will bring a negative side of it to the forefront. And I think probably getting knocked out of the League Cup is one of them where they're like, I remember this. But yeah, and you might think it was, I guess there's not even us really, but like Newcastle won it last year. So I don't know. It does puzzle me the way that they either feel like they're sort of above it somehow, or they just can't seem to get the mentality right in a way, because it's not even like they ever get knocked out by anybody good.
Well, it's like I don't think it's the feel that they're above it. I think there's just this mad mindset that everyone's got that, the Carabao Cup you've got to rotate, or the Carabao Cup you've got to play squad players or young players or whatever. And I understand it for teams who are in Europe because there's so many games, and so we've played Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, so he's obviously gonna look to rotate the manager. But if you're not in Europe, I think, like, well, why not just go for it? So
They're not going down either.
Exactly. So there's a group of clubs, and it's not just Everton, but there's a group of clubs who aren't going to go down, who might qualify for Europe if they go on a decent run with the extra places, but are probably going to finish somewhere between 9th and 14th. And me and you right now could write out the 5 clubs who we think are going to come 9th to 14th, and at the end of the season we'll get 4 of them right. And so, like, you know, it's that situation went for those clubs, and for the fans it must be so frustrating. And I know it's frustrating because it's not Everton fans, just Everton fans who moan about it. It's others as well. Is that, like, well, why not have a go? Like, and what are we saving their legs for? And also, if they do get into Europe, like, they're going to play the good players then, do you know what I mean? And so if Everton had the Europa League game this week, they go strong. And so these players are clearly capable of playing extra. And yeah, there might be 1 or 2 others who you might want to give a game to. For example, you know, Barry up front, he doesn't start at the weekend, but they obviously like him. You know, there's certain players who you think, yeah, it makes sense to give a go to, but there's others who I'm sure would have been fine to play.
I really do think it's a mistake. If you think about that, they want to be in the Newcastle, Brighton, Crystal Palace bit, the bit that's better than where they are now, and they've obviously had a good start. Them 3 teams have been trying to win cups for the last few seasons, and I think that's helped. That's helped them to become where they are now, where they've managed to climb above the kind of mid-table bit. So obviously Palace win a cup, don't they? But they've also, you know, I think we've played them in at least 2 semi-finals of the League Cup. I know Brighton have been to an FA Cup semi-final. Have they been to an FA Cup final?
I don't think they quite got there. No, I think it was a semi.
But you can imagine them winning something in the next few years because they keep trying to. And you know, it sounds silly, but there's something there in the mentality of a club that's trying to get themselves better. That I just feel like it's undervalued for certain clubs, and Everton are definitely one of them. So yeah, strange, but there we go.
Yeah, it does seem a little bit of a strange one, but that's the situation they've got themselves into. Should probably talk about the moment of madness from the game, which is Hugo Ekitike. What did you make of it all? I mean, the manager's been quite critical. I think the question was he stupid? And he was like, you might say that. And then he was like, and I would agree, which I found sort of quite stupid. I saw Ghosty tweet something on it, and then someone replied about it. It was a bit harsh, and Paul was like, yeah, well, you've got to remember that the last striker headbutted someone in his home debut and everyone still supported him, so yeah, we've got to cut him a bit of slack. And it wasn't quite as stupid as that, but it was mad.
Yeah, I did like Slot's comments because I hadn't really thought about it from that point of view, because he said it was stupid on various levels or something like that, and he was thinking mainly about how it was stupid to make that moment about yourself. And I think that's a good point, and I think maybe there's something in there which he's noticed, because I think that even you know, you could say it possibly about the first yellow card, is that he did seem as if he was there was something going on kind of mentally for him, I think.
So where Isaac scoring.
Yeah, well, Meila's just said that before, and I'm not sure it might be. I think that there's certainly something potentially that could be a reason, but it was almost more like he was thinking, I am great, and I haven't really sort of necessarily seen that, and I wonder whether because we've all really welcomed him, and you know, there's been the things that he's said in the media this week and like little videos and things like that everybody's just buzzed off so much, and he's it's not just been his goals, it's been, you know, we really have been sort of saying in every platform, every way we can, how much we love him. And I feel like what happened and then Slot's comments maybe point to the fact that might be something that he's got in him. The kind of like, if he has got a flaw, in the same way as Virgil. You know, Virgil talks about his flaw is like he can be a little bit too laid back and he can be a bit too complacent. And sometimes it doesn't hurt to be reminded to have that kind of pricked a little bit. And I think that might have been why Slot picked up on the fact that he's saying, yeah, it's not the Champions League final and you haven't, you know, ran past 4 players and smashed it in the top corner. In that situation, it would have been nice for you to be a bit humble, to be fair.
Yeah, humility is the word. It's really interesting. I don't know if you saw it. There was an interview he did in the week. I don't remember when exactly, but I saw it over the last couple of days, and it was he was someone shared this clip, and the people who shared it were like, "Oh, isn't this great?" And I watched it, and he was asked like, "Oh, who's what other forwards do you admire in the league?" And he went Salah, and they were like, "Oh, apart from like outside Liverpool," and he was like, "No one." And then they were like, "Oh, who's the hardest defender you've played against this season?" And he was like, "None." And like the person who shared it were like, "Oh, isn't this funny? He's great." And I was like, "He sounds like a bit of a bellend," to be honest with you. And I'm not saying he is, but it was all of it Zlatan. You should never go full Zlatan.
Yeah. So that's exactly what I was referring to be honest. And
have you seen it?
I've seen it. Yeah.
I just didn't. Even before this, I was just like, it's not for me. Or that you should never go full Zlatan, or even part Zlatan.
It is a bit Zlatan. So yeah, I think I liked it because I, in general, love his confidence and the way during games you've seen him with a bit of gnarl and a bit of fight in him, and I think that comes from the same place as all of this. I think he's not lacking in self-confidence, and I think that's why that clip was funny. But yeah, if he really buys into that completely and thinks that he is, him and Salah are the only good players in the entire league, then it might lead to problems. So you can.
So maybe it's just someone Arna's got an eye on. Do you think?
I think it's the biggest. The thing where your biggest strength is your fatal flaw in the same way. Sometimes it can be. So yeah, I wonder whether that's why Arna picked up on it in that way.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's got humility in him. So sometimes we all just need to remind him of it. Even the greats of podcasting,
that's it.
Like me and you.
Yeah, I think, everybody's got everything in them, I always think, John. It just depends. You've got different
culture,
levels.
Environment, management, circumstance.
That's it. Yeah.
50,000 people go, duh, duh, duh. You go, Ekitike. Imagine that. Imagine if I was walking down the road, all great. They go, duh, duh, duh. Super Adam, Meila. You'd start to think you were great.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to think so. If you wouldn't, I'm not doing it.
Yeah. You just reminded me of a story John Travolta told about when he was really, really famous and he crashed his car because he was just thinking about how good he was.
I've not heard that before. I thought you were going to say, like, when he walked down the road, he used to, like, have the... Give it in his head. Whenever he walked, he had, like, he had the opening to Saturday Night Fever playing in his head.
You would.
Absolutely. Yeah, especially if you had that suit on.
No, we just had a slow motion car crash.
Imagine that, the police stopping him. Why did you cry? I was just thinking that was very nice. And then the police were like, "Well, be fair play, you are John Travolta."
That's what happened with Ekitike.
Yeah,
things are going so well.
He forgot he'd been booked because he was thinking of how great he was.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. But never go full Travolta if you could help it. What else do you want to talk about? The good performance. I mean, the only injury was so shit, wasn't it? Because he played so well. We haven't heard anything yet. What's up with him? But I really liked his performance. It would be a bit rubbish if it was a long one. I know a few people have got excited because it might get Chiesa behind the Champions League squad. But for Leone, I don't want him to become one of those players who's just sort of dead unlucky, and that would be really unlucky if he gets his debut. He's patient. He plays really well, and suddenly he's out for the season.
Yeah, you've just spoke my deepest fears there in a way. I really don't want that to be a debut that people talk about, for years.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember that game? One game he had.
Yeah.
That's what I couldn't stop thinking about when I went to bed last night. I have got I've got a bad feeling about it in terms of it being a long injury, but you just really hope that that however long it is, that it doesn't become the defining moment. But yeah, I always think that there's something about debuts, which was why it was such a shame that it happens in the way it does. I like it when strikers score on their debut, and
Stan
Collymore, yeah, Salah, Mane,
Nigel Clough got 2.
Balotelli score on his debut?
No.
Diouf got 2.
Did he? It was definitely on his home debut, yeah, Southampton home. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so Torres doesn't score on his debut, but he scores on his home debut, and it feels like his debut, the Chelsea one. But yeah, in terms of his performance, though, if I can sort of part the injury for a minute, I thought he was everything that I'd been excited about. I think he was the main person I was excited to see, Leone, last night. We've sort of seen the YouTube clips. We've been excited about the idea of a really tall Italian defender coming to play for us, and I thought that he completely lived up to the hype. There wasn't a hair out of place. I thought he was straight into it, and just glides around, looking imperious, I thought, and I thought at times Gomez was a bit rusty, and Leone was the pick of the pair. Hopefully we'll see him again soon, because I thought it was a fantastic debut. Probably I can't think of many better debuts from young centre backs.
No,
it's such a hard thing to do, to come in and play centre half for a big club at a young age. So you don't often see it. You don't often see defenders, central defenders, coming up from that young at a big club. So there's a reason why. But I thought he looked brilliant.
Any other business before we go? Have you seen Arteta today? He's mad.
I did see something, but what? He's
done a press conference where basically
it's Champions League press conference, is it?
No, it would have been. It must be Carabao. Carabao Cup press conference, which we've learned this season, this week, that you don't have to do.
Just do it.
Arne Slot's found out that you don't have to do it, and then so didn't do it. So absolutely fair play to him. I don't have to do this. Fuck it. But Arteta wanted to speak because he wanted to let everyone know about all the people who've been texting him saying how great they played against Manchester City, and I just loved it.
I did not see this.
Yeah. He said, coaches, players, CEOs was my favourite.
Did somebody from the Paris Saint-Germain bench text him?
All these people have been. He said his phone has been blowing up with people telling him how amazing. Like they couldn't believe what Arsenal did against Man City. And what Arsenal did against Man City was draw.
Yeah. He is odd, isn't he?
He's getting odder.
Yeah.
I know it's a pressured job.
The thing I saw was him describing why they are an attacking team. And it was at length, the attacking goal. We've got the most attacking goalie in the world. What's that even mean? Yeah, it's like an Everton fact, that, isn't it? Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, I sort of don't like criticising people's personalities, but I always think that with Arteta, it's like, I just think what must that be like in the workplace? He just seems to be getting more and more bizarre, yet does seem to be able to get performances out of that team. So we'll just have to see. But I mean, it's partly the Reds that are putting that pressure on him. It just feels like a little pressure cooker thing, making that hissing noise.
The Reds, that's all they can do. They turn the pressure up, but they just keep winning. Hope you've enjoyed that. Huge thanks to Adam Meila. Thanks a lot to me. I thought we were great. Great. Maybe we should get a show.
Yeah, what should we call it? The Rob and Mo Show.
What do you think, Milo? Better than Rob and Mo? Yeah, absolutely. Harsh. There we are. Milo slams regular host and welcomes in new regime. That is the headline. Up the Reds.